Hello, beautiful. So I've mentioned a few times before that I discovered, if you want to use that word, that I was a HSP, a highly sensitive person. About 2 years ago, I came across a book, information, and it was just like an amazing revelation for me. And since then, I've done some continued research and just reframing my entire life, knowing that this is how my nervous system is designed, and that it is not a deficit, not a fault, not a disease. It is simply a trait and a difference. As Elaine Aron said in her book, in one of the first books about HSP, she's the one who coined the term, we are simply a different breed of the same species. So nothing wrong with us, we're just different. Life created us this way, we are chronically different, and we are magnificently different. But events in my life lately have really highlighted to me some of the challenges that come with being a HSP. And I've been having quite a difficult time dealing with the overwhelm and the overstimulation and the overfeeling and the depth of processing and how deeply my feelings go and how difficult it is just to kind of learn to manage them or overcome them. I don't like the idea of overcoming, but it's the word that's coming out right now. And so somebody in one of my videos on HSP actually wrote that HSP was just somewhere on the spectrum of autism. So HSP is just autism. And I was like a little taken aback, like, wait, I'm not ready to delve into the idea that I may be autistic because of how I process the world. After, I don't know, a little while, it was still kind of in my mind. And then, I guess AI was picking up my thinking or something. Videos started popping up about female autism and HSP. Are you HSP? Are you female autistic? Wherever that would fit on the spectrum. And I listened to a whole bunch of videos and read articles, and I was kind of, I'll use the word surprise for now, when I listened to a video that listed like 17 signs that you are the HSP profile of autism, and I had like 15 out of 17, and I was like, wow, seriously? So that had an interesting effect. At first, it was like, oh shit. And then it was like, okay, like, so there is something out there that actually includes me. And I don't have the answer because there's a lot of debate whether HSP is autism or not, or if it's just a trait and it doesn't go onto that spectrum. So I don't have the answer about that at all. But what it made me realize, I guess, first, is that interesting. Every time I come outside in this backyard or on the balcony, there is this one bee that just like seems to love me a lot. So I don't know why, but she's always there. So what it did is it comforted me in realizing that all my atypical ways of thinking, all the things that affect me deeply and that are hard to get out of, how even like with the texture of clothes or the colors that I can wear on any given day, or how I feel the energy of people even once they've left the house and it makes it hard for me to focus, and all these very, very fine sensory perception of the world. And I realized it is actually a thing. So that was really reassuring. And it made me start thinking of so many things in my life, because when we grow up HSP, all these traits, we are told that we are too sensitive, too intense, too analytical, that we think too much, that we feel too much, that we hesitate too much. And so we're always left to feel like all these things are not right and that there is something wrong with us. For HSP, we are actually 20% of the population. Some call it empath, neurodivergent, or whatever. 20% of the population as our kind of nervous system and brain and and activity in our neurons that make us different. So seeing that it's actually something that has been observed and documented, it's a really nice feeling. It doesn't yet make me live in the world with more ease, but it's giving me a path to love and accept myself and to find new ways of, I guess, setting my limits and boundaries instead of masking what I'm really feeling or the things that I cannot handle and say, well, everybody else can, so of course I can soldier up and I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, only to crash after, and it takes so long to recover when you completely deplete your nervous system and your adrenals because of the stress that it creates. So there is this idea that it's very nice to see that it's out there and it exists and I'm not alone and you're not alone. But what is super important to me is actually I don't need to adopt a label for myself. What I gained from knowing that there are labels is actually to be able to see that I am not alone, to see that what I thought were faults are actually gifts. It's making me embrace the okayness of how God intended me to be. Even though the labels kind of allow me to feel like I finally fit in and belong, it doesn't box me in. What it does is that it liberates me. And that feeling of liberating me from what felt like needed to be suppressed all my life because there was wrongness associated with it, well, it now gives me a sense of empowerment. So the labels do not box me in, they free me up. And they free me to embrace who I am and embrace my uniqueness that is shared by, only a few 100 million people on the planet because it's 20% of the population. I still have a lot of work to do because the growing up with feeling like all these traits that are inherently who we are were labeled as wrong and problematic. So there's a lot of self-love that needs to come with the realization that we are perfect the way we are, and we always were. It's just that the world hadn't caught up to us and wasn't aware of us, of this big swath of the population that is actually designed this way. And I do think it's more in modern society because I think that a lot of these traits in the past, people like us were sought out as counselors and advisors and creators and seers and people that could just be consulted by leaders to sense the world around them in a way that they could not. So you can choose to accept a label if that is what makes you feel better and empowers you and gives you a sense of security and safety, or you can look at them and say, oh, cool. It is all these things, but I don't need to choose in which box I fit because I choose to be outside the box, but just stay with the comfort of knowing that there's a box where I can go sit and say, oh yes, this is me, and there's so many of us around here. So that's kind of been what's been going on with me in the past little while as I maneuver the numerous challenges going on in my life. I'm putting out a lot of shorts these days. Oh no, I think that's on Instagram and TikTok. Oh well, check me out there too. And if you're enjoying this, please subscribe. It is so important. It is the way to grow the channel, the way for AI to start sharing this message with many other people like us who need to know about this so that they free themselves and empower themselves. And it is by subscribing and watching a bunch of little videos so that AI sees that there is activity on the channel. So please subscribe, and I will see you soon.